So we're going to open things up by talking to pre-sale influencers, and that would be architects, designers, cabinet planners, builders, anyone who's working with customers, getting into a project. So my question for you, so we're welcoming in that audience. That's that group of people in front of you right now. So my question to you for this audience, on their behalf, is what's something that you wish that these pre-sale influencers knew earlier in the project process that could make the process go smoother?
Well, I think many long-term professional designers, builders, architects, they do understand the process pretty well. I'd say maybe more for the newer designers or builders, understanding the sales cycle sometimes, understanding kind of the whole start to finish process of appliances is, it takes some time to understand, I mean, I now work in primarily like new construction, new build, remodel type projects. That's our specialty. And just understanding that you got to pick your appliances out kind of day one when you're designing your kitchen. And then they don't get delivered on site till almost the very last minute. Last couple of weeks, last month is when your appliances are going to go in. Everything has to be done. All the utilities, gas, electrical, cabinetry, stone, got to be ready. And it's got to be ready for the appliances. Just some of the newer trade partners in the industry, they take some time and mistakes to go through before you kind of understand the process and what needs to be done before we're actually ready to go and install. So, getting the plumbers, the electricians, the cabinet guy, the stone guy, everybody kind of on the same page, that's the designers, or sometimes the design build GC's job. And it's tricky because everyone has different things they need to pay attention to, and different manufacturers do different things. Different manufacturers have different installation types. So just getting the look that the client wants, that they see in our showrooms, it's not so straightforward, my favorite line is, you sell a built-in refrigerator and like, well, why is it so expensive to install it? You just slide it in, plug it in. It's like, oh boy, if you only knew, if you could only see how thick these installation books are and how one manufacturer's different than the other. And gosh, just these poor installers earn their salt and just bringing them into the house without damaging anything safely. They're so heavy. So yeah, I'd say the good trade partners understand a lot of that. But when you're newer to the process, seeing how big these appliances are, how technical they can be to install, it takes some time, and usually takes some mistakes to be made to really understand and be wise at the whole process.
So I'm glad that you said that, because that was my follow-up question is, and I myself, when I get into it, was surprised at the amount of potential pitfalls there are in appliances, especially the bigger built-in appliances. Can you give me an example of an issue that you've seen out there that could have been avoided if you got involved earlier in the process?
Yeah, oh, sure. Yeah. Just last weekend, I got a text from a client, hey, I don't know how to get my water filter out of my fridge. And that particular client had a decor column, and she saw an installation in our showroom where you run the toe kick, the cabinetry toe kick under the fridge, and then panel it with your custom panel, and it really disappears. It looks beautiful. It looks like a piece of furniture. Well, that carpenter nailed in the toe kick, so it's fixed. You ain't pulling that thing out. So with any appliance, every appliance, if you're going to do that, I highly recommend it. It looks beautiful, but that toe kick has to be removable, has to be clipped on, has to be able to be removable by the homeowner, because she cannot take the little flap down to pull the water filter out where the toe kick is located, because it's fixed in place. So little things like that. You never think of that or know of that until you come and talk to one of our sales experts.
Yes, and for those of the audience that are new to this, that's 0.001% of the possible things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's a great example of it too. We had that in the showroom I was in, and it was the toe kick was Velcroed. And so it looked great, but you could pop it off for any sort of service, filter, stuff like that. So that's a great example of that.
Yeah.
So Mike, I have another question for you, for this audience, for designers, builders of all experience levels, and seeing your videos at KBIS in 2025 that you get really involved with what's new out there. What are some design shifts, some new appliances that you see coming that this audience should be aware of to present to their clients?
Yeah, great question. There's certainly a big push for the luxury appliance manufacturers to offer custom metal trims, custom paint options. And you'll see a lot of them will offer like a standardized paint color option that you can kind of just pick one and go. However, I feel like, especially the area that I'm in Southern California, these kitchens are getting closer and closer to pieces of art than they are just a standard kitchen remodel. I mean, some of these designers and the builders, what they come up with, it's incredible, So the appliance manufacturers are taking note of this, and they just want to push the boundaries of like, well, what else can we do to integrate? What else can we do to stand out and fit into that piece of art kitchen, And you've got manufacturers like Blue Star offering different metal and trim finishes and custom paint matches. True was a very popular video we did. They're coming out with, Bentley paint colors with this beautiful depth and sparkle to it. And they'll color match your white, They can do it all with multiple metal from copper, pewter, chrome, just beautiful metal finishes that you can accent your appliances with. And then coming out with a barbecue now, taking that same kind of level of design to the outdoors with Caliber. It's getting fun. These manufacturers are coming up with some pretty incredible things to build these beautiful kitchens. And so paint matching, changing the color of your trim and the hardware. Obviously, the panel ready stuff's been around for a long time. It's just getting better and better and better. The hinges are getting more concealed, so you can have those really tight, 1/8-inch gaps that the cabinets have, so it really integrates seamlessly. And then, of course, technology-wise, you've got those brands like LG and Samsung, who will be Signature Kitchen Suite and Decor, really stepping it up with these interfaces that can help you cook, where you can control it with your phone, you can monitor temperature with your phone, making it really easy to cook some more technical recipes where, 15, 20 years ago, you might have shied away from like, oh, that's for somebody in a restaurant, that's for professional chefs. Like, no, you can do that in your home now, and you've got many tools at your disposal as a homeowner to pull it off pretty well. So, yeah.
Definitely some really cool new stuff out there. And I love that you opened up with all the new finish and color options. That for the designers out there, you're not stuck with stainless as much anymore. You have lots of new options, and the finishes too, not just colors, finishes, metals, some really cool stuff that they're doing.